us, is it?
Nah, my man Cash supposed to come, but I don't think Sherm will be here. Make sure you close that door. I'll close that one in a second.
Definitely got the man cave jumping off.
Yeah, man.
I would assume with
yo, I hang it up in the front, man. Yeah.
I just have my wallet and stuff.
Oh, got it. It's just us, me. You know what I mean? But I feel you.
Yeah, I just want to kind of keep this here if you don't mind.
All right.
Optic wise, I'll keep it out the way.
All right.
Put it all up in the corner there. But yeah. I wore this hat for you, boy.
Oh yeah.
It don't look like y'all that tight in here when you're looking at it online. Oh, let me turn my phone off. Ring off.
So we already got 12 people on there. I just muted it.
Yeah.
Should go to the next one.
It is. It's on the next one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's 2 songs in one in the beginning.
Right,
So.
right. Dope. Folks is see the advantage of having this shit set up ahead of time.
So is it Cash or
Cash?
It's Cash, right? That's what I thought. Okay. That's pretty dangerous too, by the way. Do we gotta have the output muted too? Maybe?
No, there's something different.
Oh, okay. So I'm moving that way. Okay. Good. Good. Hella disrespectful right now to all Redskins fans. Y'all lost like a big dog today too.
Yeah, why y'all? I ain't know y'all. I don't even watch that shit no more.
You don't watch Redskins no more?
Son, I haven't watched a football game in damn near 4 years. Bro.
That's right. We were joking about that last week.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's why, like, it's funny, like, you know, I mean, I know sports, but I just don't have shit to say because I don't really watch. You know what I mean?
It's one of the rare things he don't have nothing to say on is actual sports.
Mm-hmm.
You don't play tennis or nothing? Golf?
Nah, I mean, it's
Boxing.
miniature.
Boxing.
Oh yeah, I'm a boxing
okay.
dude. Like, but even that, I haven't watched it in a grip. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah. I'm about to grab your phone like it's mine.
So I'm a big boxing fan aficionado. I've been watching it since I was like 7, 8 years old. I used to box a little bit in high school, and learned all the finer points of the sport.
Peace, y'all. Welcome to Substantial Sundays. Yeah, man, I am Substantial. Here with the good brother Jsoul. We got Jsoul and my man Cash. You know what I'm saying? Right. Once you was downstairs, I was like, hey, we can start at 7, B.
And I can't
take that damn hat off.
I can't mad disrespectful.
You got to do
I
it.
went just for you.
You got to do Mr. Rogers joint. You know what I mean? Hey.
That's good.
I wore it just for you.
Hey, peace, everybody. Peace. So, welcome to Substantial Sundays. I am Substantial. Do me a favor in the comments. Just let us know if the sounds are all good. Everything looks copacetic on our end. But y'all go ahead and confirm in the chat. You know what I mean? To let us know everything is all good. But yeah, man, welcome. Again, I'm Substantial. We got my good brother Cash right here.
Y'all know me up in here.
You know what I'm saying? And we got our special guest tonight. You know what I mean? My man Jsoul. Clap it up for Jsoul. Okay, all right.
Disrespectful than him.
Right, just come up in
So
here.
disrespectful right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't
all
even care.
types of, you know, look, I don't even watch football no more, and I know that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Don't even care.
Right, look, already. Yeah, no Sherm tonight. You know what I mean? Sherm couldn't make it tonight. It is his lady's birthday. You know what I mean? So yeah, so you gotta respect that.
Josh McGee, what's up, man?
Hey,
I'm here.
yeah, man. Peace.
Like Prescott passes. You know what it is. You know what it is, John.
Peace, man. Malcolm Jackson up in here. Shout out to Ice Killer up in this joint. Bernard Perryman, peace. Omaha, Nebraska in the house. Okay. I think it's your first time, Bernard. If so, let us know in the comments, man. Johnny, what up? Holding it down with the mighty Brunch. DJ Grand up in this joint. Peace. And Texas Lone Wolf, what's up? Yeah, man, welcome to everybody tonight, man. It's a lot to cover. It's been a whole lot going on in the sports world, I know. And that says, I know it's a ridiculous amount because I don't even really follow like you do. Like, this dude had one of his replies damn near go viral. You know what I mean? I saw that joint. You was talking to old girl that used to work at ESPN. What's her name?
Jamil Hill.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, because I saw your boy posted some crazy video. As soon as I saw it, I was like, nope, I'm not going to click that because I know he's on some tomfoolery.
Dog.
Yeah. You want to jump into it out the gate? We here.
Yeah.
All right, you know what I'm saying? So, these two dudes, like, we know Sherm ain't here tonight, but, you know, Jsoul's usually in the comments going in. You know what I mean?
When it comes to sports, I'm a suitable replacement. I'm
right.
Listen, so it ain't gonna be too long before I'm blocked on a number of Twitter.
I say you be on everyone here on Twitter.
Yeah, son. I'm going in on Twitter.
Jay Wellington, I feel you, bro.
Yeah. Where do I start? All right.
That's what's up, Bernard.
First, let me get some basics out the way. Kaepernick had a last minute invite.
Yeah. I saw that.
To try out. It was supposed to be a tryout. Now, first, let me explain a few things for those that don't know. Tryouts in the NFL usually happen on Tuesdays. The reason why is because a lot of guys have their days off. Mm-hmm. You bring in guys, your executives are there, your scouts are there, mm-hmm. people that have power positions are there. So they can decide whether or not they want to sign you, go forward, this, that, and the third. Colin Kaepernick was called on a Tuesday to try out, but the tryout was scheduled on Saturday, which was yesterday, which is a little bit out of the normal. He had 2 hours to accept or decline. He accepts, of course. It's in Atlanta. They said we're going to bring it to Atlanta, and teams are going to be there. And originally they said we're going to let you know which team's going to be there. That was on a Tuesday. On Wednesday they said, yeah, we're not telling you who's going to be there.
Okay.
So already Colin Kaepernick and his team is like, you know, I don't understand like what's really going on.
A tad sus.
Just a tad. Anyway, he flies out on Thursday in preparation for it. So he's asking more details. Who are my receivers? Who's going to be coaching? These are things that you're supposed to know if you're going to a regular, if I'm a quarterback, am I throwing to somebody who's 5'2"? Am I throwing to somebody who's 6'3"? Am I throwing to, you know what I mean, somebody who can't run a 40 and such? Everything makes sense.
Right.
They didn't give him any details. So Thursday comes along. Now he's getting a real suspect about what's actually happening. They do find out that Hugh Jackson is supposed to be there, who's a former coach. There's another former somebody who's also supposed to be there. And it's reported that it's going to be, it started off as 11 teams and it grew to 20, 25 teams or whatever. So when he gets there and Thursday in preparation for him, they said, okay, yeah, we have it set up on Saturday for 3 o'clock. Oh, by the way, we want you to sign this piece of paper. Now, it's not, some waivers are typical. You know that.
Yeah.
When you give a waiver to anybody, when we did the video.
Right.
Here's a waiver. Right. Standard things are standard things. Except for Collins' waiver had a specified column in there that said that he can't sue them any further for collusion. You know what I mean? And they tried to pull a fast one on it. So basically, he said, no, I'm not signing that. Then he moved the venue from the Atlanta Falcons stadium to a high school, I think it said an hour and a half to 2 hours away. So the 25 teams were narrowed down to 8 teams that actually went and watched his performance outside. NFL released something saying, oh, yeah, well, here's the other thing, real quick. Colin wanted his own team to be able to record it. And for transparency reasons. He didn't want the NFL to record it, dictate the film, and say, all right,
what they want to share.
Edit, exactly. So he wanted his own team to be able to say, all right, we want you to, here's their footage, here's our footage. I would say, to me, that's a smart move. It's he wanted transparency. He didn't want that to get out that, the NFL saying that he's not good enough, or they recorded and here's some clips of it, and they take an hour long and they narrate it down to the worst throws and say, you know what, he ain't got it no more. You know what I mean? So the NFL said, nah, we're not allowing any other outside crews. It's got to be NFL crews. So that was the final red flag that said, you know what, I'm moving this to, it was filming. Good job, Josh. I'm moving this this workout an hour and a half to 2 hours away and everything. I'm gonna go out there and have them record. And if anybody wants to see it, they can see it. I'll be able to talk to people after it, and this, that, and the third. So NFL released a statement. We're disappointed at Colin. You know, he wanted to shoot a Nike ad, which Nike later on today, being on Twitter has been amazing. I've been on Twitter like all day long. Nike came out and said
I appreciate your investigative journalism,
dog,
son. I see you, bro.
That's exactly what's going on.
Absolutely.
Dog.
I'm learning some stuff.
Hey, bro, all I knew was
Obama
said something, and Colin was involved. That was pretty much
dog, I'm in it. Josh, you know, I'm again, so
Peace.
So basically, he came on and he said, all right. The NFL said that we're disappointed. We had 25 teams. You know, Colin wanted to shoot an NFL ad or whatever with Nike. Nike wanted to do it. Nike came out today and said, no, we weren't there to film an ad or whatever. So they relied on that. They said, you know, we had these people there, and you know, we were disappointed. But if anybody still wants to sign them, then they can go ahead and sign them. But I expected that out of the NFL. What I didn't expect.
Here we go.
Was Stephen A.
Oh my God!
I knew that was coming.
Stephen
I knew that was coming.
Stephen Fetchit. Steven, whatever the hell you want to call him, he posted a video not too long after saying that Colin doesn't want to play. and he just wants to be a martyr. To which I went in, and honestly, it's the reaction that I overall saw. The thing that amazed me was that a lot of people of color were crapping on Stephen A. Smith. Majority of the people of color were crapping on Stephen A. Smith. His main supporters, hate to say it, but you know where I'm going with it.
Right.
So then Eric Reed chimes in. Eric Reed is best friends with Colin Kaepernick. Yes. Yeah. He chimes in. So then there's a heated discussion going back with Stephen A. Smith and Eric Reed about, you just should shut up and because he's gotten to these. Stephen A. Smith has gotten to the point where he's gotten paid $8 million. He's towing the company line. He really doesn't have any type of to me, decency anymore left in him. So I'm pretty much done with the dude. You know what I mean? And Jemele Hill came out and she spoke against it. And so she was like, this was typical in NFL for them to do that. And to which I commented and was like, yeah, this is why I wish you were still at ESPN to combat the things that's going on right now.
300 plus likes and a ridiculous amount of activity on your comment.
And some exchanges as well with the people in Twitter world. And so it really is big. It's one big mess. Now, Colin still has his own footage out there. He still has kind of a divide of the people still voting for and still standing with Colin Kaepernick, and then the people that are okay with the NFL elite being just that, and they're standing by the NFL. You got the opinion that, well, it's a job interview, he should have just showed up. But the thing that I have a problem with is if they get to control your own narrative, they can say anything they want to about you. And then it ruins everything moving forward. And one of the things I'm big on, especially in today's world where people are taking their own ownership of themselves and their own brand, is not letting somebody else control your narrative.
Absolutely.
As a musician, as an artist, you can't let somebody else control your narrative, because the second that they do, word of mouth, like they say, the pen is, and this is why I think Stephen A. is feeling himself, because the pen is indeed mightier than the sword. So he feels like if I write something about you, and I've heard him flex like this before on people like Kevin Durant, you don't want me to say anything negative about you. And I'm like, dog, who is you? You know what I mean? So he feels like he can say whatever he wants and everything and dictate the narrative for other people to follow behind. And Colin Kaepernick and his team took that ability away from him, and I think he's upset about that. He also took it away from the NFL as well. Now, other things too, and I don't want to keep going on about it, but there was rumors that Jay-Z had something to do. We haven't heard Jay-Z say shit about nothing. But they're ready to act like, okay, Jay-Z was behind it. Even if he was behind it, we know that this isn't genuinely about giving Colin Kaepernick a fair shot. It's about restoring the reputation that Jay-Z took when he signed with the NFL. And that's the other issue that I feel like is not being really talked about. If he did have something to do with it, that he has something to do with it shows two things. One, he don't have the juice like people think he does. And two, they can give a fuck about Jay-Z as well. You see what I'm saying? Because they're getting something from him outside of Colin Kaepernick. They're getting what they want from him. You know what I mean? So,
but the Jay-Z involvement hasn't been
confirmed.
It
hasn't been confirmed. Just the same way it's all speculated. They can say anything. They can say, well, we heard that Jay-Z has something to do about this. Jay-Z ain't confirmed that. Jay-Z ain't came out and said, yeah, I helped Colin Kaepernick get anything. You know what I mean? So right now, we're not hearing anything from Jay-Z, but yet everybody's ready to assume the status quo. The NFL got exactly what they wanted out of this. And I think what their agenda was for this weekend was to have film to say we gave him a shot and then say he's not good enough for anybody to sign, and then we're going to put that to bed. That's all it really was. Publicity stuff.
Crazy, son. There you have it. Your sports update from my man Cash. You know what I'm saying? Twitter assassin.
Yeah, I've been going on Twitter big time, yo.
I've had to step away from it, honestly.
It's a
lot. It
lot.
will consume you after a while.
It's toxic.
It's a lot, man.
It's toxic.
It's a lot.
It's toxic. And other sports news, I just want to get to the NBA real quick. So, the Clippers look good, even without Kawhi Leonard.
For now.
Yeah, but they just dropped 150 on who they play last night.
I think it was I want to say
a carcass, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Atlanta,
right?
Atlanta.
They dropped 150.
And that's not overtime. That's just regular.
That's regular game. That's 150. Do the math.
Yeah, they got dead bodies on defense, dog. Like, how
30,
do you
35
drop
a quarter.
That's NBA live scores right
yeah,
there.
Yeah,
like cheat code. Like you find the sweet spot on the video game and you got your center
right,
shooting
right,
threes.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't even try to go nowhere.
I got the backup shooting threes right now from the sweet spot. You know what I mean? That's great.
So they dropped and without Kawhi Leonard. So Paul George is back.
Yeah, that's...
And now,
are we ever gonna see them on the court together?
Yeah, I hope so.
Cause I mean, like, we what 10 games in now, right?
Exactly.
Both of them then play, and we ain't seen them on. Are they on the same team?
Yeah.
Are we sure that they not the same person?
They still out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, John said I work 6 to 6 Monday to Friday. I see cash 12 of those hours.
Yeah,
12 of those 12 hours.
Yeah. You know, Josh, I've been going in.
Right.
I've been going in. You know what I mean? And part of it too is it's still like. You gotta combat the negatives out there. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people pushing for his failure. You know what I mean? And I think it's not fair, nor is it right. You know what I mean? And it's making me question a lot of things about, you know, where you want to go with this whole NFL thing.
Right.
I understand your plight on it. You know what I mean? I understand that you don't watch it anymore. It's getting harder and harder.
Yeah, man.
It's getting harder and harder.
Look, man.
The only issue I had was with Erik Reed.
Really?
Because I was like, at the end of the day, it feels to me, he has a lot to say. He's opinionated. That's his best friend. He should, right? At the same time, he is still in the NFL. He is still collecting a check from the NFL.
Yep.
The same institution that he claims is doing all this bad stuff is the same one that he's collecting money from. And he feeding his family with. And it's a whole lot of other brothers feeding their family with it too, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing that could, so there's a little bit of confliction right there with me because I'm like, bro, I feel you. And when he was like combating Stephen A or whatever,
Stephen A, you getting checked. You was getting this check for NFL. I got it.
And I get that too. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get it first. Let me get it first.
Because it's one quote.
And you know they act like I ain't got nothing to say about sports, so I'm gonna say something real quick. I hear that, but I think the players, the people who are being paid by them, I feel like they are the most qualified to criticize it. More so than any fan, because people say, "Oh, you know, we support, we watch this, that, and the third." I'm like, "Yeah, you watch, but you don't necessarily come out of your pocket to watch. Like whether you watch it on regular TV or you watch it on cable, right? The people that right. So I hear that, but the people most qualified to comment on how a business is performing are the people who work in the business. And so just because you choose to stay on, and this is just like what I said about like a living situation, right? Like oftentimes when you complain about you living in a particular place, people's comeback, well, if you're so unhappy, why don't you move? Well, first of all, how about because I pay my damn money, you make the improvements, right, that I need you to make. So in the player's case, because I make sacrifices, put my body on the line for y'all day in and day out, and I got problems with certain things you do, how about you take into consideration that without people like me, no one watches, whether you get a check or not. And yeah, there's a lot of people who come from nothing who gladly sacrifice themselves to get in his place, but the reality of it is people like that who so readily jump in without like commenting on those things, it allows them to take advantage of people the way they do. So the people on the inside have to be the ones to be the most vocal of it, regardless to what may come of that. You know what I mean? And you got to respect the fact that, because of the fact they're cutting him the check, he's taking a risk. He's actively taking a risk. He realizes what he could lose, and that takes courage. You know what I mean?
Check this like I had on Twitter. It says, criticizing a black player for speaking out against the NFL while he makes a living in the NFL is like criticizing a black activist for making a living in America. That to me was the most potent, and I was like, dog, I gotta retweet that. We live here, we see what's going on. Right. The first time we start complaining about systematic racism or anything else that we face, you hear the same thing. If you don't like it, why don't you leave? You know what I mean? So it's hand in hand. Just because you live here, you know what I mean, and you can't just be okay with being here and not have the opportunity to say something.
The only difference is that whereas we make a certain amount of money, these guys make millions of dollars, right? And I get that. I get that. It's still a job. However, that's the public's perception of it.
Oh, yeah.
Us being artists, we can feel that because we've been in the trenches. We understand what sacrificing for what you love and your craft is.
Right.
But a lot of people who just watch for entertainment purposes don't understand that.
Yeah, they think
they don't understand that.
They think they're privileged, but
Exactly.
at the same time, it's like, bro, you are not capable to perform at the level this person's capable of performing at. Hence why he gets millions of dollars, right? And on top of that, if he gets millions of dollars, how much fucking money are they making?
Yep.
But that's
you know what I mean?
That's
perception is reality.
Yeah,
so I know what you're saying.
That's the thing, though. Like, it don't matter, even though that's the truest statement in the world. It still don't matter to Joe Schmo who out there drinking his Bud Light, who watching the game, who saying, "Look, man, I just want to watch a football game. I want to hear about all this other stuff."
Yeah,
that's
people
the
want
position that they're taking.
People want to do what they do guilt free. They
They
don't want to be made. They don't want to have to think about shit. They don't want to be made uncomfortable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Nobody wants to be uncomfortable.
This is going to be an uncomfortable topic and situation.
Well, if you're so uncomfortable, you can come join me and not watch that shit.
Got a point with that.
I'm just saying, that shit was real
Don't try to make me feel bad because I wear the Cowboys. I mean, you're not trying to make me feel bad about that.
I don't want it, though.
I'm in the Cowboys.
You should feel bad, period, because you wear Cowboys again.
If you want to
I come on here for this.
The mascot of the oppressors. You know what I'm saying?
But real quick.
I ain't come here for this.
Let me get.
This is not why I came here.
Right. Last thing, and then
my last take on sports. Okay, so and for those who aren't aware, again,
I done drove a whole hour and a half to get down here, and they was criticize my Cowboys.
Was it Thursday night? Was it Thursday night? Thursday night football. Thursday night football. A game between the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, no, that was some.
Oh,
that was
God.
terrible.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about that because it's controversial in a number of ways. Okay,
that was so whack, man.
Stan, you ain't know about this, so I'm gonna beat this. Okay, so Pittsburgh Steelers are losing. I'm sorry, to the Cleveland Browns, a team they haven't beaten. A team that they have beaten for the last 9 straight times playing them. So Cleveland, long time coming, are up 21-7 with 8 seconds left on the clock. Game's pretty much over.
Right.
Pittsburgh's still running the play. They ran a screen pass. A guy named Myles Garrett, defensive end, comes in and tackles the quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. As he's tackling the quarterback, he comes down on the quarterback. Apparently, the quarterback thinks the play is over, the ball's out of my hand, the game is over, you're tackling me. He gets upset. He tries to rip Myles Garrett's helmet off.
Oh, I saw like because Sean King was talking about
Tries to rip Myles Garrett's helmet off, right? Mm-hmm. As Myles Garrett and he are tussling on the ground, he kicks Myles Garrett in the groin, okay? The offensive lineman comes over trying to break it up. As he's trying to break it up, Myles Garrett rips his helmet off, rips Mason Rudolph's helmet off, right? Mm-hmm. So now he has the helmet in one hand, the right hand, offensive lineman breaking in between them. The quarterback then
I'm gonna address that.
is
Joshua
still upset
in a second,
and rushes Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett says, "Okay," comes overhand, bow,
the helmet
hits him in the head with the helmet. Now immediately when I see this, I'm like, "Oh my God,
this nigga's out.
He's gone." I said, "He's done for the season." There's no way on a nationally televised game that they're going to let him continue to play this sport for the rest of the year. I knew he's done.
Yeah.
So
that goes without saying.
Without saying, he's done. Now,
because you just can't do that. And no matter who you
can't
are,
do
you can't
that.
do that.
This nigga in the streets,
that's
a charge.
That's a
felony.
Yeah,
that's a felony.
Right.
You can't do that.
So
someone said, "Oh yeah, he beat his ass." I don't know if you're blacking out, but that was about the blackest damn answer in the comments. Oh yeah, he beat his ass.
I knew that he was done. I had no problem with the league suspending him for the rest of the year. I knew it was coming. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be. I'm like, dog, there's no way. He's gone. But everything. So he hits him in the head with the helmet. Teams start rushing each other. Now, Pouncey, he's an offensive lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers, automatically just starts going in. I mean, swinging, bop, bop. He gets them on the ground. They're kicking them in the
Which
helmet.
was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah,
I was
it
laughing
was.
the whole
I'm
time
like, dog, you
man.
swinging with a closed fist and hitting a helmet.
And a
you're
helmet,
done.
like
Yeah, you know what I mean?
like he don't feel nothing.
None of that. It's
Right.
like I'm hitting 250-pound dudes in the head with my helmet.
Right.
What's your punch going to do? You know what I mean? But
You
anyway,
checking on your quarterback.
exactly. So as he's getting hit, defenders for Myles Garrett, defensive lineman comes by. They push Mason Rudolph down. I'm only bringing this up to say what the ultimate outcome of this was. So Mason Rudolph got a fine. That's it. Myles Garrett suspended for the rest of the season. Okajunli, I can't pronounce his name. He got 1 game. Pouncey, who was swinging on Myles Garrett, got 3 games. And that's it. So the big thing on Twitter right now is the guy who initiated the whole fight, basically getting a slap on the wrist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Getting a fine, which he'll happily pay. And then he assumes everything back in football.
Right.
What if that was somebody else? Would they be doing that to Lamar Jackson? Would they have done that if it was Wilson? Would they have done that if it was would they have done it if it was Tom
Brady?
Brady?
What if too.
It's a big what if. What if?
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, I still understand you got to suspend Myles Garrett for the rest of the season.
That I don't think that's the issue.
It's not the issue.
I don't think that's the issue with nobody.
Nobody, like,
the
like,
person who started this should have got.
Should the guy who started it?
Yeah, that was the only issue with everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Then
how come
again,
Rudolph ain't get it?
Let's go back to spinning the narrative, because at the time of this whole incident, when they were replaying the whole thing, the commentator says it looks like Mason Rudolph got his hand caught up in Myles Garrett's helmet.
That was whack. I saw when they did that.
Come on, son.
I was like, you know, daggone what? How you get your hand caught in the back
up
of his
in
helmet?
his?
Because he didn't grab his face mask. He grabbed the back of his helmet and tried to rip it off.
Trying to rip it off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see,
was whack.
this is again, and there's another issue on Twitter. This is why controlling the narrative is everything. And why I looked at that and I was like, this is exactly why people get upset. Is because, and for 2 things. For one, we're arguing about a guy who peacefully protested about his ability to get back in the league. Then you have situations like this happen where someone rightfully has an issue, should be suspended and everything, and he's gone for the year, but everybody's not punished. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you really want? Do you want guys that are there, that are capable of playing the game and model citizens for all that we can see, or do you want...
Oddly enough, I know it's crazy thinking, but I was thinking because of the way Rudolph was playing, because he threw like 4 interceptions, right? And he's been trashed the whole season, ever since he's been starting.
A few games,
he's been pretty bad. You know what I mean? I was like, man, before what happened yesterday, I was like, I'm almost certain the Steelers are going to pick up Colin Kaepernick. I just knew it. I was like, bro, he going to the Steelers because look how terrible Rudolph is playing.
Right.
Who's the backup to Rudolph? Do we even know who he is?
No.
You got a black coach who's a leader of men, so he can handle the pressure, the press and everything. You know what I mean? It's the perfect spot for him, actually.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then that happens. That's probably why I was more upset.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't even think Colin should be going to the Steelers, and I don't know why he's not going.
I thought before the incident that was a destination spot.
That's what I was like. I knew
okay,
he was
you
going
may
to the
not
Steelers.
start, you may not get on the field, but at least you could get on the roster in Pittsburgh. Then I delved deeper into Mason Rudolph and found out he's a MAGA hat wearing.
I saw that too.
Tommy Lorenz supporter.
Tommy Lorenz,
and I'm like, it just don't look good and it don't feel good.
And
you see the crossover.
The Steelers organization are one that's known for fighting for, you know, because they had the Rooney Rule that happened. You know, they've had a black coach who's been successful. They've never been the type of organization that was like associated with racism or you know, bias or just, you know, white players.
They bucked the norm.
They always bucked the norm.
They bucked the norm.
Colin Kaepernick was, to me, that was the perfect fit for him.
Right. Had they suspended him, it kind of would have forced a hand. Okay, we suspended him for 3 games.
Yeah, they'd had to sign Colin.
Perfect scenario.
Yeah.
It'd have been a perfect scenario, but
because
they did. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
With a chance to actually making
the playoffs, you know what I mean? It would have been perfect for him.
But anyway, that's my sports. It's been a lot going on.
Yeah, it's been an eventful week to say the least, man.
Yeah, it's been eventful. Y'all, Josh, you gonna see me on there.
And LeBron James is still collecting souls out there on the basketball court.
Yeah.
So we know what's going on there.
Come on.
We ain't gonna do it. We 30 minutes into sports. We 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's why
I did kind of promote an album.
Right.
Let's do that.
So yeah, man. So real quick, shout out to everybody in the comments and the chat showing love. Right now, we're getting ready to transition. We got our special guest for today, my man Jsoul, who just dropped an amazing album. Last week it came out. If you have not checked out the Neutronic Suite, make sure you do that. The link is further back in the chat. I did post it a while ago. It should be in the description. Okay, got you. Stop promoting these battles. You know what I'm saying? But yo, like, so yeah, man, definitely want to talk more about the record. Got several questions for you. And before we end the day, I do have some other announcements, because November's been a good month for you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm on your album, but then like the homie Joe D got a joint dropping tomorrow, which I'm on. And I got something dropping with Asheru and the homie DJ A-Rock and Steph on the hook on Friday. So lots of good music in November. But let's talk about the good music you made. So first things first, why is the album called the Neutronic Suite?
The album is called the Neutronic Suite. It's kind of like a play on words. At this point right now, I've had people go like on Google and search what a neutron star is. A neutron star.
Educating people. Look at you.
Yeah, a neutron star is it's a formation that kind of stars that result from a supernova. So a supernova obviously is when a star reaches its tipping point and it basically explodes and dies, right? Creates these neutron stars. And so if you ever look up what a neutron star is and you look at a picture of it, it's really pleasing to the eye. It's like really beautiful. It has like all these different colors in it, certain stuff that you can actually see it too. And it's a beautiful sight. The only problem is, in order to get to that point, something has to die. Right. So the supernova has to occur, the star has to die. So it was just symbolic of what's going on with my career. I started off as a vocalist like in 2001, and I basically just putting out vocal albums. You know, up until that point, up to about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And so this album kind of represents the full transformation of me being a vocalist into a full-time or full-out fledged producer. You know what I mean? And by me putting Tronic on the end of it, obviously it's a electronic-based album. Lots of synths, heavy, you know, synth sounds and stuff like that.
And noticeable right away.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
right
then
away.
Amazing.
All of the different elements of just, you know, Afro beat, Afro rhythms, and soul, it's just all in there. So Neutronic Suite was the name I came up with for it.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So you got a lot of different people on the record. You know what I mean? One of them's right here. Hey. Man, thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. And if in case y'all missed it, it's available to stream everywhere, but it's also here on the YouTube channel as well. It's just uploaded the other day. But yeah, other than me, man, who else you got on the record?
We got Cy Smith on the album. She's on 2 songs. Cy Smith is an incredible vocalist who is traveling the world right now, and she's like revered as one of the better vocalists in the soul game. Matter of fact, she's called the Queen of Indie Soul. And I don't think anybody works harder than that woman, man. Like right now, I think she's in Russia right now. She's done like it was like 30-something dates in Russia straight.
She's
crazy.
What I mean?
And then she's coming back and doing like
another 30. She's so humble and nice, man.
Super humble, man.
I love it when people realize that, like, you know, you being a big deal and talented and seeing a little bit of celebrity, if you will, doesn't have to be synonymous with being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, man, she seems like a really great person, at least from what I've seen and the support she's shown to you for the record.
I tell everybody,
That's
man, I have no qualms about telling anybody that she saved the album, because up until she got on the record, I hadn't really got much. I didn't get much like traction with other things. You know what I mean on the album. And I was ready to just throw it up on SoundCloud. Stand to tell you, like, we was going to North Carolina that one time. And I played some of the record
story in a second.
And I was just like, yo, I'm just going to throw it up on SoundCloud and call it a day. And he was like, man, you must be crazy. You better, like, really do this. So when she hit me up, she was just like, you know, I want to be on the album. Let's start working out. I sent her the music. She said, I'm on tour right now, but I'll be back in 3 months. When I come back to LA, I'm going to go ahead and lace the songs.
So dope.
And she did them, and she got everything done in 2 days. She sent me back 2 songs in 2 days, fully done.
Dope
songs. So super professional.
Dope songs.
And from that, she put the battery in my back, and that made me go forward with the album. You know what I mean? So she saved the record. I also got Deborah Bond on the album.
Amazing as well.
It was another like celestial type vocalist, you know what I mean? And she's on a song called The Element of Light on the record.
One of my favorite on the record.
Yeah, if you hear the album, you know what I'm saying, you'll see just how talented she is vocally. Like I said, we got Stan on the album.
I'm alright.
Who's like rappity rapping.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Jay told me, can I tell him the story what you told me?
Yeah.
So Jay, when Jay asked me to do the song, right, he gave me the direction, saying that he was like, yo, I just want you black out. Like, I want you to kind of talk about, it's like, you know, the idea of like leaving this space and, you know, this, that, and the third. He's like, yo, but I don't want to hook on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and he gave me shit about, he's like, you always trying to sing. You always try to sing on something, Stan. And like, man, he just really gave me the talk and was just like, bro, I just need you to go in, man. Just really go in. And it was a lot of fun, man. Like, you know, I got some homies who are really talented artists who are really critical of people's bars and how they construct them. And so when I was playing it for the homies and they just looking at me like, yeah, you went in. I was like, okay, all right, Jay should be proud. He should be happy. I feel like I did good by you, but yeah, man, it's a dope track.
I didn't really, you know how you hear rhymes, you can't really hear them the first time until you read them.
Right.
He sent me the lyric sheet and I just started reading it, and I was like, oh wow, you know what I mean? I wasn't really, I was hearing it differently than what it was actually saying.
Right.
And so that was, you know, really cool. But you know, just having that, you know, I had to get my dog Erik Roberson on the album.
Yeah.
You know
how was that connect? Because it was a few tracks from Erik Roberson I used to bump like back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how's the connection with you and Erik Roberson?
So I know Erik from a while back.
Okay.
One of my first times in New York as a performer, I did this place called SOBs.
Okay.
And I was with a group called Fertile Ground.
Okay.
And we did like a jam session at the end of the night, and he was hosting. This was like 2004, I believe.
Okay.
And we actually, Cy Smith was there too that night. So this is in 2004.
Oh.
Yeah, and so they brought me up on stage. Yeah, they brought me up on stage for a jam session.
Okay.
And I kind of met everybody then. We had like Michelle Dangacello, she was there playing bass. It was like an all-star kind of thing situation happening.
Right.
And so that's how we got.
From Jsoul.
I know, you know what I'm saying?
That's how we got
connected.
That's how we got connected. And then over the years, like they saw me just kind of traveling and just hustling.
Right.
And so when I finally, I think like he did a show in Baltimore, and we talked, and I was like, yo, I'm working on, you know, this record called Black Sinatra. And he was like, send me something. A lot of times cats say that.
Yeah.
They don't really mean it. You know what I mean? They just
Right,
like, send me something, and then you never hear from him again.
Right.
But he hit me up. He was recording his music Fan First album.
I remember that.
He was recording that at a Night Flight studio. I think that's like right outside of DC. All right, and so he was like, yo, I'm in Maryland right now recording my album. If you can get up here, we can get the song done. Man, I left work. You feel me? I rolled up to the studio with my work uniform on. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I'm there. You know what I mean? And so we hooked that up. And he just kind of seen how hard I work. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the song actually hit.
Right.
You know, and Stan was on the song too, right? So it was like the, you know, it was like a nice mix. You know what I'm saying?
That song has got a lot of traction over the years, man.
It did.
Like,
it did.
I remember like a couple times where like I was working somewhere, like I think over at Oxon Hill, and a brother that I work with was like super into neo soul. He was like, yo, I said something about Jsoul. He said, oh, you listen to Jsoul? I was like, listen to Jsoul.
That's my man's in there.
And he was like, hold up, don't you rap, right? I was like, yeah. And he's like, is your name Substantial? And I was like, yeah. He was like, young, that's you on that Potential track where Erik wrote. Like, this man lost his mind, dog. Like, he was like, man, tell your mans, I'm a fan. So, you know what I mean? You guys got a lot of folks out here support, man. Yeah, Jay been paying his dues. Like a lot of times, I think for people who just get to know you as a producer, they don't realize, like, dog, like you've been at it a very long time, but you made a name for yourself as an indie like soul singer for a very long time.
Yeah.
Not just in Baltimore, but like abroad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like working on like I know you've done some production for like some brothers over. I forget what parts of Africa, if it was South Africa.
South Africa, Johannesburg.
Yeah, and making great appearances. And so for any of y'all who haven't heard some of our collaborations, I actually made a playlist on YouTube the other day. I gotta link you to it. But I just dropped it in the comments. It's like best of like Substantial and Jsoul collaboration.
Appreciate it, Johnny.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So definitely check that out, man. They got tracks that he's produced that I rapped on, but then there's been plenty of my songs where he's asked me to where he's come on and sang the hook, and then songs of his where he asked me to come in and drop verses. So yeah, man.
We worked together for a minute, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's you know, I'm just happy everybody added their energy to the album. Oh, and I can't forget Uyama Hiroto.
Oh, Uyama, man.
Uyama Hiroto.
Shout out to the brother Uyama Hiroto.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was dope. That was mad ill how that even happened. You know, with you, and I got on one of his songs and they didn't really even know who he was. I just did the vocals on the strength. Yeah. And then one day I was just like, you know,
Jay was telling me stop singing.
Right. So I was just like, you gotta cut it out.
And then Jay was like, I'm gonna really need you to stop singing.
Yeah.
And so then I
he be
just called
trying
Jay.
though. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you listen to the song we did together
Christmas
on the album, it's called Departure.
Right.
He's actually singing on there.
Oh, he is?
He is, right?
Fly away.
That's you.
Fly away. And I was just like, oh, Lord. He just had to find a way to sing.
He don't understand that when I sing the stuff to him, it don't be there to keep it there. He sings. I'm thinking he gonna re-sing it. Oh nah, he makes a joint with me. Yeah, I was like, for somebody who don't want me singing, and you know you sing, and you mixed it,
and I mixed
you making me feel like you like my singing.
I mixed it, and it fit.
I mean, okay,
so I was just like, all right,
okay,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't terrible.
I mean, so it worked, is what you're saying. So I held that down. That's what happened, bro. I did my thing.
Don't encourage him.
I'm not going to encourage him.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he'll start to try to put an R&B album together.
You know what I'm
saying?
I
mean, shit, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know, we got Kanye out here doing whatever the fuck he wants.
He ain't lying about that,
I mean, you know.
He's dead.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be that guy. Like, just leave it to the professionals.
You know what I mean? But you know.
I come out there rapping.
And Cash up here acting like an asshole right there. Cash acting like we used to, like we wasn't out front of the, you know what I mean, the middle school back in the day. Out here getting it. You know what I'm saying? Holding down the baritone and shit while he doing his 10th thing. You know what I'm saying? He act like we wasn't out in these streets like I can't sing. Honest chorus.
Everybody wants to sing. Everybody wants to rap.
You know what I'm saying?
But everybody can't do it.
That's the truth.
Everybody can't rap like him. Everybody can't sing like me. And I ain't even a great singer.
And everybody can't make beats like us. See what I did there?
I see that.
Okay, all right.
Black artists.
Black artists. You know what I'm saying? Squad. Hey, in fact, Jay gave me my opportunity. I told y'all last week, Jay gave me my opportunity to do my first beat set at his album release joint. You know what I'm saying? So that was a real dope experience and stuff. Now
How'd he do?
Yeah, he did pretty good, man.
Pretty good.
He was
prepared. His first one.
He was. Somewhat, you know what I mean? But he was.
He told me about the infamous beat drop where he thought.
I played that shit off though.
He told me about that.
Baptism by fire.
Okay.
The only thing you want to learn is you got to get in there and do it.
Nah, man.
Okay.
But he did pretty good. I ain't even gonna lie. He did pretty good.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
He was prepared and he played his set. And that's what you're supposed to do.
And then my man told me I had like 45 minutes instead of 30. So I was like, oh shit, that's more than I planned for. But luckily, your boy been busy over these last 2 years, you know what I mean? Been making a lot of music, so I was able to throw some stuff in there. Hey, look, thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy, talk your shit, Stan. Sing a hook right quick. Okay, hold on.
No, don't do that.
Okay, my bad.
This is exactly why we don't encourage him.
You know what I'm saying? So like Jay know I can throw his ass under the bus. I ain't gonna do it. You know, he talk about his little rehearsal joints. You know what I'm saying? I used to fuck with Jay so much because he do his little warm up joints and it was no prep for me. He just start just doing it. And so if you ain't looking at him, you hear these sounds, you're like, what the hell just happened? So I used to mess with Jay so much when I was living in Baltimore. This dude, one time, he come to the crib, and I'm like, where he at, man? He's supposed to be here. I look out my window.
You ain't gonna never let that die.
You gonna never let that die. I look out my window. He doing his warm-ups in the car. So he just out there looking wild. You know what I'm saying? Looking like in the car having a seizure and shit. You know what I mean? Luckily, I knew what was going on. Otherwise, I'd have ran up and like, help this man. You know what I'm saying? But we go back, though. You know.
That's the difference between a person who's an actual vocalist.
That's real.
Vocal exercises.
I just get ready in my drawers and a tank top.
Right, you feel me? He think great notes just happen.
With some ginger tea and shit. You know what I mean? Somebody said they want the falsetto. Don't threaten me with a good time, Jazz. You know I'm a fool. I will act up in this joint. You know what I'm saying?
It's a process.
But back to the album, man. There's something we gotta do today. And because for those of you who commented on the video last week, we are supposed to announce a winner, and normally I have like a grab bag or something, you know what I mean, and I'm slacking on my pimping, so we're gonna do something a little different. All right, so we are gonna find out who won from last week, and I'm bringing it up, and Jay is gonna be the person to pinpoint who the winner is. So for those of you who don't know, last week we said that if you commented on last week's video letting us know which track from Jsoul that you liked the most from the album, that you would win a copy of the album on vinyl. So do me a favor.
I want to hear the windows shatter and the heavens open.
Another time. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your vote.
Windows will shatter. I'm not sure about the heavens open.
Right. The heavens might close. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it might start, raining.
You're currently at lunch.
Right.
We open back up.
The Wendy King said he won.
He said, Wendy said, I won. Get me a, nah, we ain't pick a winner yet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you won with comments. You out here winning best comments right now.
Yeah,
how about
absolutely.
That? You know what I'm saying? So here we go. This is what we gonna do. All right. Oh, hold on. We're going to do this at random. I'm going to go like this, and then Jay is just going to put his hand on to stop it. And whenever you're ready, just do it. All right.
That's me, bro? Nah.
Hold on.
Who's me?
So, hey, Mugen, if you are still here, Mugen, you are the winner. Mugen said technically he has nothing to play vinyl on. So Mugen, if you want, you can pass up on your victory, and we can do it one more time for someone else who might have it, who entered. But look, everybody, like, I won that. You caught your neck.
I just want to say that Walmart is selling vinyl record players for $49.
I'm just saying, anybody.
So
can
anybody can get vinyl these days, man.
Right.
People think you gotta spend hundreds of dollars to get a record player. If you're in Walmart getting some Fruity Loops or something, or getting some bread, you know what I'm saying?
Mugen, congratulations to Mugen. You are the winner of the vinyl. You know what I mean? Do me a favor. Make sure you go to iamsubstantial.com and go to the contact section. Just shoot me an email with your details, which I would then forward to Jsoul. So when the album officially drops, someone said, "Nigga, give it to me." Hey, Power Mitts. Hey, shout out to Power Mitts, man. Power Mitts is also a dope producer as well, man. He did a dope flip of one of my tracks and sent it to me, man. He get busy. But yeah, man, what's I say? What you got going on next, bro? Like, what's the plan? What else is going
on? Right now, I am working on several different albums at the same time, simultaneously, for people who don't know what that means. So I have the Fifth L, which is a group in Baltimore. They're coming back after 10 years. They need somebody to produce that record, so I did the whole record. I also did the whole record for a guy named Rafik Bashai out here in Virginia, actually. He's up from this way. I'm working with some artists in Toronto right now. I just done some production for a young lady by the name of Shy Wisdom. I got a lot going on, man, you know what I mean? And then there's the B-sides to the Neutronic suite that I'm putting together right now. Stuff that wasn't on the record that, it still has the same vibe. I'm doing a lot right now. And producing, man. And selling beats. That's where I'm at right now.
So if you're you're a MC, a vocalist, looking for some dope production, Jsoul is definitely someone to get at.
Hit my email, jsoulmusic@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? Or you can follow me on social media and just hit me up that way.
Hey, so look, I see a lot of people saying they feel robbed and stuff like that, like they missed out. You ain't really get robbed, but because I'm a caring individual and I got a delivery.
I didn't pronounce Mugen again, bro. Right. Man, come on, man. I got it by now. What we 20 episodes in?
It wasn't Cash that said it this time. It was actually Jsoul that mispronounced it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. You said Mugen. Right.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the random joke here in the studio. Between him and Sherm, they just stay pushing his name. Mugen.
Man, we butchered that. Mugen.
Yes, Mugen. Yes, Mugen.
Hey, Mugen. I appreciate
don't get his vinyl scratching the hell up now because he mispronounced it.
I appreciate the support, Mugen, and I think you're going to enjoy the vinyl. It's a special, limited edition. Only 50 of them are made. I think we still got like 13 or 14 left. So if you guys want it, you can go to diggersfactory.com, type in Jsoul. I'm the only one on there.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's diggersfactory.com. and if you type in Jsoul or Neutronic Suite, the record will come up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Lord.
So you can put your pre-order in. It's real cheap. You know what I'm saying? And you know the quality is real good. So you know what I mean? It's like Blue Magic. You know what I'm saying? If y'all remember,
I see what you did there.
It's like Blue Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's that
right,
pure
right.
cut. You
I
feel
stand
me?
by it. That's
I
right.
buy my product. You know
Exactly.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And then you got an event coming up too as well, right? In DC.
Yeah. So I'm doing what is it? Brunch beat. Beats?
Yeah, we doing it together.
Yeah, we doing it together. Right? What is it? Beats after brunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Beats
I
after
wanted to
brunch.
talk to you and Sherm about it because the
Thanks
event's
for
from
letting me
5.
know.
Well, no, I did mention it to y'all a few weeks back about an opportunity. I don't remember if you was there. I know Sherm was there, but basically it's an opportunity to go to this thing called Beats and Brunch, where basically him and I are supposed to play beat stays from 5 to 9, so we could do the show live from there.
Yeah, we got 22
Damn.
days. Power mix.
Down.
Yeah, we have 22
You know
days
I'm
left
down.
Yeah,
to move
son.
the last 14.
Mhm.
Once the last 14 are moved, there'll be no more pressed up in the world. You feel
Right.
me? So make sure you get your copy. There's only 14 left.
Get your
And I
copy,
happen to
man.
know that there's a few people that's going to be getting them like tomorrow.
Right.
So if you get yours as soon as you can, you know what I mean? You
Hey,
have yourself a copy
Power
of
Miss
vinyl.
beat me to it. Exactly. Vinyl releases like this, right? Because it's such limited supply of this. If you don't get it now,
Yep.
a couple years from now, Bama's gonna be charging you like $50 to $100 or more to get a copy of it. And if
Absolutely.
you don't believe me, right? The reason why I repressed my first album is because there were people who still had new copies of it, right? Like stores that still had new copies of it that they didn't sell, that were selling it for $75 a pop. And people were ordering it from them because they couldn't get it from me. So I repressed it myself and was charging $25 for something that you could get directly from me as
Save
opposed to
yourself
someone.
$50.
Save yourself $50 and actually get it from the artist.
Get it now.
So you can support the actual artist
Right.
instead of someone who's a record collector
Right.
who's gonna overcharge you because it's it's so hard to get. So support your artist while you still can, man. Definitely Jsoul's making great music. He has a pretty vast catalog too that y'all can dive into that ranges everything from R&B to instrumental tracks, lo-fi type vibe, soulful boom bap type joints. And yo, Jay is actually for those of you, I'm sure some of y'all are fans of Wordsworth, man. Shout out to the homie Wordsworth. So he produced a whole project for Wordsworth, who is one of the brothers who used to be on the Lyricist Lounge. Yeah, and he was on Tribe Called Quest second to last
The
album.
name of the album is called.
My bad.
Oh, come on, man.
My bad. I'm sorry.
The name of the
Right, I'm
album is
sorry,
called
man.
Blame It on the Music.
Yeah.
It came out 2 years ago with Wordsworth. You can get it on my Bandcamp page, which is jsoulmusic.bandcamp.com, and you can also stream it on like all the streaming services. But if you want to cop the project, you know what I'm saying, and support, then you can do it straight up and do it on Bandcamp and just reach me there, and you can get the record there.
That's what's up. Discography is the truth. Grind out there, hustling and pushing these records. Wendy said, you gonna release it on VHS?
I got you. We working on that now.
Hey, Wendy has been batting 1,000. He's like, hey, Johnny out, I gotta hold it down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got you, son.
What?
Hey, shout out to my Ava. She was up in here earlier. I think she had to dip out, but shout out to her. You know what I mean?
Homework or one.
It probably.
She on the
Oh,
run again.
You said you on the run.
That's the only freshman that changed her name every 3 weeks. I got to stay fresh.
Hey, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. So real quick, I got some recommendations for y'all. Stuff I've been watching and music I've listened to, and we'll go around, man. So we
All right,
get something
Josh,
from everybody.
easy, man.
Josh, take care, man. All right.
Josh,
So look, some quick recommendations.
see
if
you on Twitter,
have
Josh.
I don't know if y'all have seen it yet, man, but I don't know if y'all been watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
I just watched it yesterday.
You watched both episodes?
Yes, I watched both episodes.
Yeah, man, Baby Yoda out this joint.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Who
Yo.
knew?
Who knew?
Who knew? Yoda was
Knew.
he was 50 years old.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, Mugen says, hey, Jsoul, are you going to keep doing singing or sticking to producing from now on?
I'm going to be sticking to production for now. I'm not going to say for now on. You know what I'm saying? Because we never know. I mean, I never know. At this point, if I'm being completely honest and transparent, I don't have a desire to do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing it for 18 years. I've made, 5 albums in that time period. I've done a lot of collaborations. I think now I just want to concentrate on just the production side so that I can master that side and be as efficient and as good as I can be as a producer. I can't do that if I'm concentrating on trying to do several things at one time. So that's just how I operate, you know what I mean? But you can still get my albums, Black Sinatra, Blue Midnight, Love Soldier. They're still out there on my Bandcamp. You can listen to it, you know what I mean? And I'm singing on this record too. I'm on the Neutronic
Lotus Flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lotus Flower.
Yeah, I'm on Lotus Flower. I'm singing on there, you know what I mean? So I'm not completely done with singing. I'll never be completely done. But I'm kinda just putting it to the side for right now. That's all.
That's what's up. Yeah, any other questions y'all have for Jsoul, definitely throw them in the comments. We're at 7:57 right now, so we're definitely going to be wrapping up soon. But yeah, if you got any last minute comments, I know, right? I mean, you know, look, man, I think it's coming soon, bro. We ain't
I ain't
too
gonna
far.
say how. Am I touching your feet?
You
right now?
did just caress the back of my foot just a little bit.
Oh man,
and
I
wasn't gonna blow
that
you
was
up,
weird.
but I was kind of side-eyeing you
was
for a
weird.
second, like, hey, brother.
That was weird.
I know you appreciate being here, but
that's what show my appreciation, man. That's all.
It's all good. Right? It's like,
I done forgot what I was about to say now.
Oh, random shout out, real quick shout out to Soul Bounce. You know what I mean? For
Soul
supporting
Bounce.
Jsoul's record and for this dope sweatshirt I'm rocking right here. Thank God for the music or for music.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Jsoul.
She calls that the Fonte t-shirt.
Yeah, because he was rocking the joint in that interview. Yeah, it looked better on me though, but you know, it's neither here nor there.
I just caressed the back of your foot. I'm not even gonna comment.
Right. Jsoul.
I'm not even gonna comment on what
Katie,
you
great,
did.
cool. Want to know where you from? I know where you from, but he want to know where you from.
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Maryland.
You know what I mean? That's it though. I don't go by the other thing, Murderland and all that stuff.
Right.
No, I don't want to keep it negative. We want to keep it positive. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I was decisive for him. You know
Be more careful.
I'm from B-more. You feel me?
So. What's the Krabby Patty formula, Jay? Random question for you.
Krabby Patty formula.
You don't know?
I think that the formula is probably going to be on the back of the vinyl for Neutronic Sweet. So if you get the record, the actual ingredients on the back of that record. I can't tell you right now.
So if you want the
Master
formula,
marketing,
son,
baby.
You know what I'm saying?
You
gotta do what you gotta
do.
We need a bottle opening sound effect for Sherm Bird. Hey, real quick, what was I gonna say? Oh man, there was speaking of bottle opening and marketing. You know what I mean? This dude had his own tea.
I had my own tea.
He has his own tea.
Yes.
That was really dope. That was available at the album release joint. Like, it was really dope. It was called Neutronic Sweet Tea.
Yes. We have Neutronic Sweet Tea. It's actually...
Joint was great, bro. Like, it was really good. They did their thing.
For any tea drinkers out there...
Couples Tea, right?
Couples Tea is the name of the company. That's actually a family member of mine. It's my cousin. But they have a really high quality product called Couples Tea. Company called Couples Tea. And what?
You. Hey, be sharp.
Hey, real talk. You feel me?
Go ahead,
you feel me? And then Baltimore, and then the tube and the avenue.
Right.
Listen. Yeah, right. You feel me? No. All right, so look. I'm out there trying.
Right.
So look.
I got you, Morgan. Hold on 1 second.
So my so they have a tea company called Couples Tea. CUPL. Right? ES, couples. Like a cup and then LES. And we developed a tea called Neutronic Sweet Tea. For any of the tea drinkers out there, it's completely natural. It's a loose leaf tea. It has blueberries, cranberry, apple pieces, and hibiscus flowers in it. So it's really like nutritional and, you know, for health reasons you should drink it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll have it available on my Bandcamp page pretty soon. So if anybody wants to get the album and get the tea at the same time, I can ship you both of those.
That's
you
dope.
know what I'm saying? So it's real nice. You know what I mean? If you go to my Instagram page, you can see what it looked like.
Yeah, man. Like, I was mad that I did not cop a bag so I could take it home because it was that good.
I thought about bringing a bag down here too, man.
It's alright. You ain't
I thought about bringing a bag down here.
You ain't shit. Right. Alright, so real quick, they want to know, got 2 more questions for you. Right. The next is, real question, what's your top 5 superheroes, if any?
Top 5 superheroes. Alright, so I'm naturally going to go with Iron Man.
That's one.
Black Panther.
That's two.
I would say Wolverine.
That's three.
We gotta whittle it down now. They're gonna all be Marvel. You feel me? We ain't even gonna do the DC thing. I don't wanna have that argument.
You gotta give respect to Batman.
You got two more.
Gladiator.
Okay.
You feel me? And I'm gonna say, give you the most added. I'm probably say Magneto.
Magneto. There it is.
You feel me?
There it is. All
real,
right.
Real talk.
And then they want to know top 10 producers. We're gonna say 5 because that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So who's your top 5 producers?
First and foremost, Dilla. You feel me? Jay Dilla is
Jay Dilla.
number 1. R.I.P. Madlib. Primo. Pete Rock. And Flying Lotus.
Dope list right there, sir.
Yeah, that's all.
Right.
That's all in my music. So you'll hear it.
So Muga wants to know what's your favorite Stan song, Jsoul. That was his actual question. I wasn't just hearing that.
It's amazing that he just out of all the stuff that's there.
I mean, it just popped up. I just read it. You know what I'm saying?
My favorite substantial song is Departure. It's the song that he's on the Neutronic Suite album.
Master marketer.
If you listen to it, you'll see why.
Master marketer, this guy.
You feel me?
All right. Let's see. Where can they find you on social media? It is in the description, but you can say it for the video.
All right. So social media, I'm on Instagram. I'm Jsoul Music, JSOUL. On Twitter, I'm Jsoul Sounds. So it's JSOUL Sounds. On Facebook, I'm Jsoul Black Sinatra, or you can look up Jamal Smith. I don't mind putting my government out there. It's JAMMAL Smith, and then I think my nickname on it is Black Sinatra. So you can find me there. And then I also have like a Patreon too, which is Jsoul Music. You know what I'm saying? So, check me out on all those.
Last question. What's your credit card number and social security?
But speaking of Patreon,
yes. Another reminder, ladies and gentlemen, we officially hit 34 patrons. That means we are 16 patrons away from hitting our goal of 50, so we can go ahead and start the official Substantial Sundays podcast.
Because I would rather listen to me than Stephen A. Smith. So.
I mean, I'm just saying. You know, so look, please, it doesn't take much. Literally $1 a month allows you to become a patron, which gives you access to unreleased songs that I sometimes preview on the show. A friendly reminder, literally tomorrow there will be a new track that drops by the homie, my man Joe D. So make sure y'all check out a song by Joe D called Bishop Was Scared, featuring Substantial. Yes, Bishop, like, you know, from Juice, you know what I mean? So,
it's called Bishop Was
Bishop
Scared.
died.
Bishop Was Scared. Yeah, that's a
I
powerful.
want to hear that.
It's a dope joint. I'll let you hear it before we go. But yeah, that's coming out tomorrow. Definitely check that out. And later in the week, the remix of my song "While They Sleep," featuring the homie Asheru, and I'm talking about the same Asheru, the one y'all know from the Boondocks, who did the opening song from there. First collab that we've done on record, even though we've been doing shows together for years. Make sure you check that out this Friday. All right?
Yeah, so we were talking about the show we got coming up.
Yes, that's coming up December 1st.
December 1st.
Yeah, I will make sure details of that gets added to Songkick, which will automatically populate everywhere where my show information goes.
It's called Beats After Brunch, by the way.
Beats After Brunch, December 1st, and that's happening in DC. That's 2 weeks. And don't worry, Substantial Sundays will keep you updated, and you will get information about that because we will be filming
to answer
live
that
from
question,
Yes.
Joker.
Yeah.
He's way more clever.
Yeah.
His punchlines will be crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though Batman's punches will be crazier.
Yeah, Batman's punches will hurt more.
But in the battle, right. My money's on Joker. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's been the show. Thank y'all so much.
I don't want to talk about how the fact I tune in every week, right?
He does.
I tune in every week.
Here we go. I feel like you're gonna throw some.
Let me see. It's like 8:05, right?
Oh.
I done seen these cats go to like 9:30.
Oh.
But when I come there, I think it's because I got on the Cowboys hat.
Hold
They
up.
don't want it in. They don't want it
Right.
in their feed.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
too much
Hold
longer,
up.
you know
Look,
what I'm saying?
I stopped the music.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. I feel
Stop the music.
I feel you.
You know I can talk even longer, right?
It's cowboy hate and prejudice right now.
For the record, I did not finish my recommendations.
Got one more question.
Okay, go ahead. Send your question over. You know what I'm saying?
One more cue.
All right, and then I'll put some other music on. Bow, there we go. So, one more question for Jay. Who is your favorite MK character? MK as in Mortal Kombat?
If it's Mortal Kombat, dang, I don't even know, man. I ain't played Mortal Kombat.
I'm biased. There's only one sub in the character.
Sub-Zero is mine.
Yeah.
I was about to say maybe Sub-Zero just because he can freeze people.
Yeah, right.
Knock their head off and there won't be no blood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of cool. It's a good effect. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
I didn't write any of those jokes.
Right.
James is not responsible for any of that.
Cloud Kid coming for you talking about your boys.
Cloud
talking
Kid,
about them boys.
I want you to tell me who your team is, and we're gonna have that conversation. You feel me? But I was alive.
Uncomfortable.
I was alive when they won their last championship, was in 1996. You feel me? We beat the Steelers, actually. You know what I'm saying? For our 5th championship, by the way. We have 5 of them. I'm pretty sure whatever team you root for, unless it's the Patriots, have more, or the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? But you know. And by the way, if we want to talk, teams or whatever, we are worth more than every team on earth. Literally. Literally. Like, we're worth more than every team.
But Washington State is top 3, though. I don't understand that. Because we sucked for a minute. But we still...
Can we talk about y'all game today?
He's a Chiefs fan.
Ain't nothing to talk about.
Chiefs.
Nothing to talk about.
Chiefs.
Ain't nothing to talk about.
Y'all won the first Super Bowl. And that was
right after him, he was like, my man right after him was like, OMG. OMG.
Chiefs. Bruh. Last time y'all won a Super Bowl, Hank Scram was talking about matriculate the ball down the field. And it was on black and white TV. Let's no longer talk about that. I'm not saying anything to a Chiefs fan. You know what I'm saying?
It's like slow motion didn't exist. You know what I mean?
You feel me? They didn't even have penalties back then, you know what I mean? They might fully develop the game. You feel me?
Hey, here's a fun, this is me being nerdy real quick. Here's a fun random NFL nerd fact for you. Did you know that the NFL invented slow motion?
Did they really?
Yes. Like when you see,
I thought it was
no, whenever you see like slow motion, like video, the NFL literally, NFL Films is the ones who actually developed that. I watched a documentary about it some years ago. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And then looked it up.
Well, NFL Films is kind of revolutionary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they wanted to basically with the passes, those deep passes. They wanted to be able to capture that, right?
And don't nobody capture a football in the air better than NFL Films.
I mean,
it's like
you can watch a million movies about football, but
it's like poetry. It's like poetry watching the ball spin in the air.
The kicks and F y'all, I'm unsubscribing.
The best one to me.
Yeah, bro, go cool your breath last time they won a Super Bowl, young.
Yeah, he was not even that much. You know what I'm saying?
The pylon cam. That to me is amazing. Because the angle it gives you, running down, the pylon cam.
The sky cam that they have that runs down the field, so you can get the over the top shot. It's crazy, man. They're revolutionary in a lot of different ways, like visually when it comes to like how you look at sports.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because I saw multiple camera angles of somebody getting hit upside the head.
Right, I mean every angle possible.
Every angle on earth. I'm like, damn, I
watch
ain't
you get here. And one more time.
I've been wanting to do this though ever since I've been watching Substantial Sundays, and let's talk to you guys about the Redskins.
What you want to talk about, bro?
I mean, you know where I stand.
I'm about to kick over this whole thing. I'm going to kick the whole thing over.
Now, because y'all was giving us grief, I had a lot of Redskins fans. I was like,
you know what my take is? We suck, but as long as y'all don't win, I'm good.
That's always the thing.
That's my
thing. It's
like
we can live life as long as the Cowboys don't win.
As long as y'all don't win.
And what's crazy is, as a Cowboy fan, we don't even see the Redskins anymore.
Yes,
because they always at the bottom. Yes, they're always at the bottom. So
yes,
it's just like
y'all see us. Y'all worried about us.
It's kind of like a little person. They knock on your knees and you turn around and go, And then you gotta look down. You know what I mean? It's always a look
Did get
down
another
situation.
question. Power Miss wants to know what team do you think Kaepernick's going to?
I already said it earlier. If I had to put money on it, it'd be the Steelers.
Okay.
They are in the most need, and they have the best coach that's qualified to take on the pressure of actually having to have a Kaepernick on their team. Because I respect him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's one of the coaches that I was like, man, if he ever leaves the Pittsburgh Steelers, I want him to come to Dallas. Just because he's a leader of men. Men respect him. You know what I mean?
Mine is...
Track in the background is Jsoul featuring Uyama Hiroto.
Yes, sir.
Great.
The Chiefs. And the only reason why I'm saying the Chiefs because Andy Reid is there. And we saw what Andy Reid did with Michael Vick coming out of jail for his prison conviction.
That's true.
I think he's the only one, well, he's one of a few that's willing to stick his neck out there and say, you know what, I'm going to take a guy because I know I can use him to his best ability. And you got to remember, when Andy Reid took Michael Vick, they already had Donovan McNabb, who was already there, who was already a Pro Bowler, who was already shining, and in fact already had been to a Super Bowl. So Patrick Mahomes, though he is there, I can see Andy Reid being the next coach to say, you know what, I'm going to bring in Colin Kaepernick and use his skill set to my best ability.
I do think that either way, Colin Kaepernick's coming in as a backup.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think he's starting for anybody.
Yeah. The thing is though, he's still better than some of the guys. Like I look at the Jacksonville Jaguars situation and Minshew, he's not that great of a quarterback. Could Colin Kaepernick outdo him? Yes. You know what I mean? One thing I want to say too.
I'm talking about in the middle of the season though. It would be hard to come in the middle of the season and take somebody's starting side. That's off rip.
That also goes back to the whole tryout because originally the tryout was just so you have an opportunity to get into the league. Then later on, the NFL said this isn't for this season; it's for next season.
It's definitely for next season. Whatever it was, is for next season.
Yeah. So another reason why I knew the whole thing was fugazi was because if it is for next season, then why are you pressuring them to make it happen right now on a Saturday and not go into a Tuesday where they usually have the tryout so that he can have an opportunity to plan it out. Right. And be a lot more prepared for it. So
I still think he'll be in the league next year. I really do. I feel like he's too talented to not be on somebody's roster. And now that they got this firestorm happening,
what would piss me off is that they don't let him back in the league until after the next election and some other president is there.
Oh no, that would definitely be great.
That's what I'm thinking because right now
not good.
They say, oh, these owners don't want to be offended or don't want to get tweeted by the president and blah, blah, blah. And that's the reason why they're scared to take a chance on him. So if another season goes by and they don't give him a chance until Trump is out of office, knock on wood, hoping that happens,
right?
Then I'm going to look at it like, oh, y'all ain't got no spine whatsoever.
Yeah, it would be no coming back from that one.
Right,
you know
right.
But I hope.
So y'all, what you saying? You ain't gonna watch?
Watch what? The NFL?
He thinks there's no coming back for.
I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For him. Okay.
Yeah, for him.
Gotcha. I was like.
I wasn't talking about.
I hear what I want to hear. I'm sorry. Selective hearing.
No, check this out. I mean, look, man. I've been an NFL fan since I was a kid. The first game I went to was I was 3 years old. I still remember it. You ain't supposed to remember something when you're 3, right? But I remember going to Memorial Stadium watching the Colts play the Denver Broncos. And it was the same year that John Elway was a rookie. He didn't want to sign with the Colts. And so he opted to not even go to training camp or anything. He ended up getting signed by the Denver Broncos. His first game in Baltimore, I remember they booed the crap out of him. That's all I remember. I remember my father, my uncles and stuff, like they throwing paper and they boo. That's what I remember. So I've been in love with the NFL ever since then, you know what I mean? And not only that, man, but like it's a lot of people that fed a lot of families playing football, man. A lot of good dudes do a lot of good things with the NFL, and they're their money and stuff like that. So this is an unfortunate circumstance right now. You know what I mean?
I just think they need to do a better job taking care of the people that they built this league off.
I agree.
You know, I mean, we can think of a million players, but the person who always stands out to me is Johnny Unitas. You know what I mean? Johnny Unitas, in my personal opinion, is like one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it. Like, you know, working class quarterback and stuff, like sacrificed his body and himself like for this game that he loves. And I just think about how later in his career and stuff, all of the physical problems that he had and how he was constantly at war with the NFL, just trying to get them to help take care of some of his basic needs. And I felt like that was extremely disrespectful. And even though it's not the same level of seriousness as what happens with soldiers, but I feel that it's the only reason why I would say that it's different is because of the fact that these dudes, they're both putting their lives on the line, but one's putting their lives on the line for their quote unquote country, not necessarily a sport. You know what I mean?
But
the metaphor is it's ultimately
it's the same on a psychological level.
Right.
Do for your country. If you got to go out there and lose a limb, you know what I mean, for your country, then go do it and be a hero and blah blah blah. It's the same thing they teach these NFL players.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Do it for the team. Yeah, you hurt. Yeah, you might have a concussion and won't be able to remember your kid's name in 3 years. But damn it, you're getting paid and go out there and do it for the team.
They've been proactive in trying to stop that part of it, right?
Lately.
Yes and no.
Lately.
Right.
So I'm just talking about as far as how they protect the players now.
Yeah.
You know, just calling penalties and fines and stuff like that.
Yes and no. I think my argument with that is you're doing too much. At the end of the day, it's still a violent fucking sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of those penalties, it's like you gotta stay consistent with it.
Right.
Yes, these guys are going to get hit. You know what I mean? You're going to have that liability that they are going to get hurt and get hit. I don't think there's one NFL player that's gone his whole career without getting injured. That's going to happen. At the same time, you can't be ticky-tack and use it to what you want to use it for. You hit a quarterback and it's, flag. You can't touch the quarterback, but you don't say nothing about a running back. You know what I mean? And he's getting beat the hell up the second he run through the line. You know what I mean?
Spans are a lot shorter too.
Right. You know what I mean? And to me, it's like you want to protect a certain person, but you don't want to protect everybody else. Like it's a divide when it comes to that.
You're basically saying that certain players are more valuable than other players.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like we're gonna be out this joint like running back lives matter.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's gonna be a whole.
Exactly.
It's crazy, B. But that's really what they doing. And it's like, and then.
But I think the players know that though. Like the players are well aware of the fact that the NFL protects the quarterback.
Yeah, but
I think they know that. You know what I mean? Because the quarterback position is probably the most important position on the football field.
If your quarterback's good.
If they're good, you know what I mean? Right.
My argument with that is that it's not necessary to win. And see, okay, so this goes to the old NFL that we grew up on and the new NFL. The old NFL, you out there with that ball in your hand, we don't give a damn who you are. You getting lit up. You know what I mean? The new NFL is if you have the ball in your hand and you're a quarterback, you can't really touch them. You know what I mean? To me, it's a problem because while you are protecting that one player and everything, you're saying everybody else, we don't give a damn what happens to you for real. You know what I mean? And because of that, it makes it so one-sided when it comes to the value, when it comes to the money, when it comes to everything else. If I'm a running back, what am I go out there and give 100% for? What am I go out there and run hard for? You know what I mean? I'm replaceable. They say the average lifespan of a running back is 4 to 5 years. You know what I mean?
Good years.
4 to 5 good years.
Good years.
Right.
Yeah.
So if your average lifespan in the NFL is 4 to 5 good years, wouldn't you want to extend that as much as possible? You know what I mean? And if you're out there trying to extend it as much as possible,
or you can do what what's the dude Le'Veon Bell did and hold out until you get your bread. You get your bread. Now you can. If you should happen to get hurt in your career, get cut short, you got your money.
That's why I think that the NFL won't do its players justice until it moves to guaranteed contracts.
Now that I agree with. I
you gotta move to guaranteed contracts.
They do it in the NFL. They should do it. They do it in the NBA.
Yep.
They should do it in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know
and speaking of NBA, that's so much to talk. Carmelo Anthony just got signed by the Portland Trail.
Yeah, man. I'm happy for Melo.
I'm happy for Melo too, man. Like
he deserved to go out in a better fashion.
Absolutely.
Than it just get cut from a team. Yeah, like it's. I'm a Melo fan. You feel me? He's from B-more too, by the way.
Yeah, West Baltimore.
But at the same time, he was a superstar in this league. You know what I mean? He came in with Bron. They were superstars. They carried this league for a long time.
Bron, Melo,
Melo,
D-Wade,
D-Wade, they
that
all
whole
came
class,
in.
man.
And on top of that, people sometimes forget that Melo was an unstoppable force on offense.
He was nice.
He was unstoppable. He had probably one of the best offensive games, pure shooting wise, in the NBA. And we talking about the same NBA that Kobe was in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He
was a problem. So he deserved more respect than what he got. You know what I mean? So I'm glad he at least gets a chance. If this is his last season, at least he gets his chance to be
go
like
out
his
the way he
tour,
want to go.
and he can get in the playoffs, and he kind of proves, that I still got it. You know what I mean? Like he gets a chance to do that.
Yeah, man, he's always been like he's just been a class act, dude. Like in terms of like in terms of not just his playing ability, but even the stuff he does off the court. Like as somebody who was as someone who's doing a lot of work in Baltimore with different schools and stuff when I was living out there, man, just like remembering what his program being present in certain schools I was serving at, and then the stuff like when they went to go play in Brazil as well, and like him taking the time to go out to the communities out there and stuff like the favelas, and playing ball with the youngins there. Like he's just been a class act. So,
People
man. So
forget that part.
They
look at the fact that he don't have a ring, and they use that as a measuring stick. The type of respect he should get.
You know what?
I don't think that's the case.
The whole Melo situation goes back to the original situation when it comes to controlling the narrative. This is why people like Stephen A. Smith was the main ones pushing that Melo was done. And Melo was selfish, and Melo had nothing to offer. See, they put that type of talk out there, like these guys are such and such, and this, that, and the third, and everybody else just sends to follow suit. You know what I mean? Like he's done. Like you don't know that. Can he still put the ball in the basket? You know what I mean? That's all they really need to know. You know what I mean? But it became something else, and he really didn't get a fair shot in Houston. The second they started losing some games, they associated that with Carmelo being there,
right?
And that was whack. And so you saw the same type of talk when it came to Kaepernick.
He had nothing to do with
nothing at all. Mike D'Antoni, Mike D'Antoni has always been about offense and no defense. It's another reason why Houston won't win a championship as long as D'Antoni's there. I don't care how many points they score every game. As long as D'Antoni's there, they're not winning a championship. Stamp that. You know what I mean? Right. So, but the second thing started unraveling, they started pointing at whoever they could and making that person the scapegoat.
And they weren't going to point it at Chris Paul.
They weren't going to point at Chris Paul, and they damn sure weren't going to point at Harden, who's jacking up shots left and right. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like they push that narrative though. It must be Carmelo.
They got mad at Melo because he wasn't shooting threes.
Right.
Like, bro, he took the best shot.
The best shot available.
The best shot available.
Best shot available. And
like, that means you step inside the 3-point line, take that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's common sense. That's basketball IQ.
Right.
But that's not how D'Antoni runs his offense.
Of course not.
His offense is shoot the three.
Right.
First.
But I'm happy to see him get another opportunity. This week in the NFL has been crazy. I have no idea what next week's going to bring. I assume it's going to continue to get worse, to be honest with you, before it gets better. And one thing I wanted to say too is our NFL that we knew didn't have as much inside information being spread. Like we're in the information technology. So the things that we know now,
right?
If it turns your stomach now, I can only imagine the things that was happening 10, 15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean? I can only imagine what was going on there. Because really nothing much has changed. I think what we're really seeing too is that how much politics are involved in the game. Right. You know what I mean? Like how can one administration spin something that happens into something totally different to where every NFL owner then follows suit? You know what I mean? So then it start making you question what is their allegiance to, and who are they? You know what I mean? What are they giving their money to? You know what I mean? These billionaires that are paying these players. What are they doing on their time? Because before, our owners were never in the limelight. Now you see owners left and right. Like I know owners by first name. I didn't know that back in the day. All I knew was the quarterbacks, the teams, the players, and all that. The head coaches. It stopped really at the head coaches. Now we know so much more about teams or whatever that is spilled into the owners and what.
It's almost making the game unenjoyable though at this point because it's taken away from the actual sport.
Right.
It's like the NFL is about everything but the actual sport these days. You know what I mean? It's about the story.
But the politics behind
it. Politics. It was never this much politics back in the day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, that we knew about.
That we knew about,
Right.
or that was publicized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But all we knew was, Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Or even playing one, right? Like even playing one at the point. Those were as big as the headlines got when it came to like black athletes in football.
I had that debate too because a lot of people don't know the Warren Moon story, and Warren Moon was in our lifetime. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody that we know growing up knew who Warren Moon was. Warren Moon was facing the same type of prejudicial situations that we hear about, and I got into an argument with. First of all, I got blocked by John Kahn, who's the
blocked by everybody.
Yeah, I got blocked by John Kahn, who's the beat writer for the Washington Redskins. I got into it with Mark Schillereth on Twitter, and the reason why is because I'm very particular about how these guys word things. The second that I feel like you're wording something that's leading, it's like I gotta throw an objection out there. Right. You know what I mean? And in this case, it was about the black quarterback. You know what I mean? Case in point.
Empowerment,
Right. Empowerment's
this the empowerment's
been going in for a while.
Case in point. We're looking at the maturation of Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? Who's tearing the league up right now. You know what I mean?
They can't figure him out.
They can't figure him out, but these were the same people not too long ago, just a short year ago. We're in 2019 now. But in 2018, when he's getting drafted, they're still with the same BS catchphrases that was going on with Warren Moon. You know what I mean?
He can't be a pocket passer.
Right. And so when we talk about politics and how it seeps into the NFL, these are the type of things that I'm talking about. These are the type of things that you'll see me arguing over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, and they'll make the comparison. They made the comparison between Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. And while I don't have a problem with that comparison, but you also had other scrambling. One of my favorite quarterbacks that ever played a game was Steve Young. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so how come when you see how come when you saw Michael Vick scrambling, you didn't compare Michael Vick to Steve Young? You compare Michael Vick to other
Steve McNair.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So when Lamar Jackson came out, the first thing they want to do was compare. Right, they compared him to Randall Cunningham. You see what I'm saying? You always associate, and these things are not done accidentally.
They did a graph on Lamar Jackson, and they said that he is more efficient in the pocket than like 3/4 of the NFL right now.
Yes.
He's got more passing yards from the pocket than 3/4 of the NFL right now.
Right.
So it's like, what is he not really good at being a pocket passer?
Right. And these are the same people that said that he should switch his position because he would never play the position. This is a year ago.
It was a year ago.
You know what I mean? Like I'm controlling the narrative because I'm looking at you and saying you can't read defenses, basically saying you're not smart enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you, because of your athletic ability, should switch over to something like a wide receiver or a
They've
slot
been doing
receiver.
that forever, man.
Right, but
they was gonna make Doug Williams a wide receiver.
It still goes on.
That old coded language.
It still goes on. And so when I see that code, I'm always like, nah, bro, I got to throw a flag when I play.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get blocked. You know, I get the same type of.
I don't have the liberties that he has online at this moment.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I have an album out.
Right.
I cannot afford to get blocked by anyone.
Right.
No blocks for Jsoul.
Yeah, right. Don't get it twisted. Somebody did say that I was one of the most opinionated artists that they know on social media or whatever, as far as like Facebook and all that. Because I will speak my mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you gotta
sometimes you gotta stay away.
You gotta finesse it sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gotta stay away from it.
I've definitely fell back from getting into altercations online with certain people because I was just like, I can put my energy in other places.
Right.
Yes. And that's why, like, at one point, man, like, I think I was probably, commenting on stuff a bit more, but I definitely fell back. After a few back and forths, and then ultimately, like, blocking a couple fans for just saying, like, outlandish shit, like, definitely, man, like, it's one of them things that I feel my time is better spent doing other shit, but, like, I don't knock anybody for doing it because it's like, I'm fighting doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, motherfucker, let me tell you.
You ain't lying,
and then
boy.
I get to, like, the end of the shit.
You type it all up.
Proofread the jump, man.
It just hit delete,
right? What are you doing?
Delete.
What are you doing? Yeah,
delete.
Right? And it's just tough, man, because, like,
you feel me?
I literally... Listen,
I'm gonna get my extra 20 minutes, bro. I'm cut me off at 8 o'clock on the dot. I'm gonna take my ass now.
Real quick, have you guys speaking of politics? Have you been keeping up with the impeachment?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
me too. Not at all.
Me too.
Yeah.
And not because I don't want to get into it or whatever, but I just haven't had the time. It's so much stuff going on.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just like, man, pick something. You gotta pick something to get
I can dig it. You gotta pick your poison.
Yeah,
man.
you gotta pick it.
It's too much. And I think where I'm at with it too, because even though like I don't watch it as it goes on, I usually just catch the clips later and stuff, just because like that's usually during the time where I'm working on something. But my feeling with all of this stuff with this administration is really just like, yo, like, can we just finalize something? Like, can we figure out what the hell we're gonna do? I don't really care about the day to day, because I mean, I feel like the dude has given us more than enough to get him the fuck out of the office that he shouldn't have been in to begin with, right? That for some reason, like, you know, not millions, but like a lot of other people's political careers have been completely destroyed by things far less offensive, by things nowhere near as serious as this type of stuff that this dude does on a daily basis. So I guess where I'm at with it at this point is, even though I still tune in from time to time just so I can be informed, I'm really just like, hey man, I really just need y'all to let me know when this shit's over with. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to do my part. Like, you know, I just voted in the local election here in Virginia. I tell people all the time, man, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, bro, like, look, you know, like, you can talk about the presidency all you fucking want. You can complain about it, you can talk about get out and vote all you fucking want. The place you need to be voting the most, when you need to be the most active, is during your local elections. That's what because the thing is, if you're active during your local elections, these people also support a lot of the things that the president wants to push. So if you get the right people in there locally, you can make it hard as fuck for the person who's serving as president to do any damn thing, because you'll have the right team of people around making sure that certain policies don't get pushed through. And please believe, if their ass ain't doing what they supposed to do to help on that particular level, you have the power to vote they bitch ass out in 2 years or however many years based on what their position is. So I say all that to say, like, yeah, it's important to vote, and I know some people be like, oh, that shit don't make a difference. You're right to an extent if you're talking about the presidency and you live in a state that has historically only voted blue or red forever, right? But if you live in what they call purple states, battleground states that oftentimes swing one way or the other, your vote does matter, right? And please understand that, like, if you were voting in local elections, your vote absolutely matters more so than it does for the presidency. So, that being said, I'm gonna step off my political shit, but I just need y'all to know that I'm trying to do my part, because we always, in this household, we some of the youngest people. I'm 40, and it's a damn shame that every time I walk into the place where I vote, I'm one of the youngest people in there. Just saying. And it's because, like, I understand the importance of this shit on a local level. It's just like saying that, like, you know, it's like complaining about the schools, but like, but yo, man, ain't no point in complaining about the shit. Ain't nothing we can really do about it. You know, that whole shit is fixed. Like, bro, it's a school. It's a school in your community. You don't like what they're going on. Guess what they have? They have something called the PTA. Right? If you got children in that school, you can become a member of that, and you can vocalize your opinion on certain things. You can reach out to people in the school board. There's parents that the whole 20 years I worked in schools gave schools hell when they did not do what they were supposed to do, and absolutely created change. The same thing happened in local government and a whole lot of local politics. And I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
No, you absolutely right.
Check who's in here right now. I Live Radio.
Live Radio.
Hey, peace, I Live Radio.
I don't know who that is, if that's Lucia or if that's Jason.
Whoever it is, we
it's
appreciate you. Thanks
Lucia.
for showing Jay so much support, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? It's my
appreciate
man, so I appreciate y'all for appreciating him. And shout out to y'all for occasionally, you know, playing stuff that I'm actually on and put my name in that blicky. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all.
Man,
you know, they're in Toronto, right?
Toronto.
Yeah, that's what's up. See, I pay attention. You watching? You know what I mean?
They've been mad supportive of everything. So
yeah, I'm gonna come to. I see a question. I'll answer that in a second because Cash was about to say something.
I was.
I thought you were about politics. You were.
Well, yeah. I just want to know if you were keeping up with it, because right now to me it's like incomplete.
At this point,
shit show.
I'm kind of like how Stan is with like sports. That's how I am with the politics.
Yeah.
I just kind of fall back. That ain't my arena.
It's a job, yo. Like just to pay attention to
I'm neutral on that.
And be in the loop is a job. It's Jason. It's Jason on iLive Radio.
It's Jason. Okay.
Peace, Jason.
Yeah, that's the man right there, Jason. Hey, look, bro, we got to talk anyway. You know what I mean? I don't want to conduct business on the show. You know what I'm saying? But we got to talk. Let's rap later on. You know, tonight or tomorrow.
Bernard, real talk, and that's a problem. Over 100 million people in this country don't participate with any elections, not even local or the main. That's crazy. Hey, I appreciate the love, KD Great, Cool Boss. I'm gonna just call you Cool Boss. The name long as hell. Someone asked a question.
That was a question.
Anyone know if Fat John is still making music? Last time I checked, he is. The last thing I saw him make, Fat John is one of the homies who used to work with Nuja Best as well. He's a producer, dope producer in his own right. Did some of the music on Samurai Champloo. The last thing I saw him do was a mixtape of beats for Teflon Funk, which is a really dope comic that takes place in New York. And then the other question was for you, Jay. Someone asked, I forget who asked, but they asked, are there any other people that I have worked with that you might be interested in working with? Because they asked that because of Uyama and stuff like that. So
well, more importantly, your homie, you know what I'm saying? Bob Lloyd.
Marcus D?
Marcus D for sure, man.
Yeah, man.
We actually talked online, and he said that he was working on some stuff right now to send to me. So I'm just waiting for the email with the goodies in it, you know what I mean? But definitely Marcus D. And, I'm trying to think.
Absolutely, Jay.
I'm trying to think who else. He's worked with so many people, though, like, you know what I mean? Asheru. I like to work with Asheru. I like to do something for him. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other people. We both want to work with Joe Scott, though.
Yes.
We do know that, though.
Yes.
We dedicated an entire album.
And please let me be there when that happens.
Right. You know what's crazy?
Joe Scott,
I gotta remind me to tell you something off camera. I can't divulge the information there, but one of my homies, because I know you don't know, but one of my homies is starting to work with her right now. Yeah. So that was crazy because he hit me up specifically to tell me. He was like,
right? Guess what?
He's like, he's like, fam, you won't believe what happened. And he tells me, and I'm like, yeah, that's dope. Sad, right?
Sad emoji, sad face emoji.
Congratulations. You know what I mean? But hey man, look man, we gave you an additional 40 minutes.
I took my 40 minutes.
He
we
did.
Didn't give nothing. I took it.
He did.
You know what I mean? Because y'all was going to get me out.
I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take it back. Soul, what about Blue? You down to work with Blue?
Absolutely. Anybody know him? I don't know him, but I'll work with him.
Yeah, man.
Blue is the truth.
Marcus D. Marcus D has done a couple songs with him.
Oh, right?
He can definitely link.
See, that's why I want to work with Marcus D.
All right, there you go.
He going to link me to everybody else I need to work with. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, man. But on that note, look, another instrumental I produced just popped up in the background. That might be a great cue to end officially on that note.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all, man, for tuning in, especially those of you who've been rocking with us almost the entire time. We greatly appreciate your time. If you have not signed up for Patreon, it's Patreon. Someone said give another 40. Patreon.com.
I gotta drive all the way back to
/substantial. Right. Sign up. We are 16 patrons away. Make sure you support
and bring your
Jsoul's
friends.
album. Yeah, bring your friends.
If y'all watch the show regularly, hey, tell one person.
Neutronic, sweet.
You know what I mean? If they can't do the whole show,
you can check it on any streaming service.
Absolutely.
Spotify. It's on every streaming service that's out there. But if you want to support, make sure you go to Bandcamp and get the album there. My jsoulmusic.bandcamp.com. And we only have 14. I just checked. We have 14 copies of the limited edition vinyl left. Mm-hmm. So if you go to Diggers Factory, I think the link is in there already.
Yeah, it should be.
You go to Diggers Factory, you can find the album there and you can buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it'll be shipped to you in like a month or so.
Yeah. That's the show for tonight. Just a quick reminder, and some great news. The fellas already know about it, but today we just got our key to the building that will house Substantial Art and Music, where our office will be, and hopefully that's where we'll be filming Substantial Sundays in the future, like at the official office of Substantial Art and Music.
Is it closer to Baltimore?
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Not by a whole lot. Not by a whole lot, but closer. It takes about 25 minutes. 25 minutes north of here. So yeah. So it's definitely closer, but you still, once you get off the exit, it's still 10 minutes at least.
10 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, so that being said, hopefully after the new year, Substantial Sundays will officially have an upgrade. Malcolm Jackson, man, appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. And I still gotta check out that folder you sent me so I can work on some stuff. Hopefully that'll happen within the next week or two, and all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out for real. For like the 5th time. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, man. Have a good night. Were you in a video game for music? Yes. Stop asking questions. Yes, I did make music for a video game called, oh my God, hold on. It is called Tree of Savior. It's a video game that came out in South Korea. I actually was delivering some verses and a hook on a song for that video game. And I got another one coming out, supposed to be out already. It's called Renee. That's supposed to come out on the Nintendo Switch. All right, so once that information comes to me, of course, I'm going to let all of y'all know. But don't forget, new music dropping tomorrow with the homie Joe D. More music dropping at the end of the week with the homie Asheru. On that note, we are out for real. Deuces. High five for Jesus. All that good stuff. Background music. Peace signs up. We're out of here. We're leaving.
he got to close it out.